bienvenidos a Singing Señorita. Can you believe that it is already May? It is already time to start preparing for finals. So what I'm doing in today's video is sharing with you 6 different ways that I've reviewed for finals. And if that sounds good to you, stick around. Number 1 is to use Google Forms. So Google Forms will make your life easier. So with Google Forms, what I do is I look up the information that students are going to need to know for the final. I look over what I've taught in that year, and I've done this 2 different ways. One way that I've done it is to take the chapter and the vocabulary and the grammar that's in that chapter and come up with a Google form for that set of information, and then just go through the different material that they need to know as I taught it in that same order. The second way that I've done it is I put all of the vocabulary information in one Google Forms and all of the grammar in another Google Forms. So what I'll do for you is I'll link a couple of the reviews that I've made by Google Forms in the description, so you can take a look and see if one of these might work for you. But what this does, number 1, for you, it's gonna save you so much time grading because it grades itself. And number 2, for the students, if you set it up to give them a multiple attempts, it gives them tons of practice if they will take the time to do it over and over again. So it's a great way to review those topics that are going to be on the final. Number 2 is to use a PowerPoint review. So what I did at the beginning of this year is I took my Spanish 1 review PowerPoint and I used it to review students of all of the information that they should have learned in Spanish 1. That way I put my students at an even playing field when we started in Spanish 2. But what you could do is use it for the end of year final review. So it covers the basic topics of Spanish 1 or Spanish 2, whichever one you choose. Now, if you have a cumulative final from the beginning of the year till now, it is great. You can use the whole PowerPoint. If not, you can find the point where you started this semester and go from there. So that's a great way to just quickly go over the information that they have learned throughout the year. You might even want to use the whole thing, even though your final may not be over the whole year, just to give them a good review of topics. Number 3, mine happened to go along with PowerPoints, but you could use notes pages. So what I did when I made my review PowerPoints, I actually made the review notes pages that go along with each activity in the PowerPoint. So you could do them like I do them, and students fill in information as you're going through the PowerPoint. Or what you could do is give the students the notes and see what they actually know without your help. That way you would know where you needed to fill in the gaps before the final. The great thing about these notes, because they cover an entire year, you could go through these with students and they could take it into the next level. I've had many of my students use what we did for finals and take them into the next school year to review so that they were top of their class when they got to the next year and they didn't forget anything. Number 4 way to review is the one the kids love, is games. So usually what I do is I use a combination of these things. So I typically like to go over the vocabulary and over the grammar on certain days. Usually it's vocabulary and grammar that goes together. And then to practice the vocabulary, a lot of times I'll do Quizlet Live or I'll do a Book It to help them to practice the different vocabulary that we've gone over. Sometimes I'll use like an online game to practice verbs if we've gone over that, but typically not. Typically I have other games that are just more hands-on for that, but you could find one. And then also I use either Kahoot or I use GimKit right before the final, and I make those 2 games comprehensive. So they cover everything that we've gone over and all the little different pieces of review, and it condenses it into one game, and pretty much it will take the whole period because it is such a long game. Now the difference between the 2, with Kahoot, what I do is in between each question, I go over why that answer was what it was. Unless everybody gets it right, then I just move on. With GimKit, it's more on the student side. They just go through it, answering questions to get their points to do the different activities depending on which one you choose. So Kahoot can be more teacher-led. GimKit is more they're on their own, just competing with each other. Idea number 5 is to use a foldable. So I've created several foldables, especially when I taught middle school. This was a great way to review. So what a foldable is, it's just a cute little thing, but I make mine that cover the different topics that we covered that year. So within the topics, they'll find all of the information that was for that topic, and then they go through and they fill in all this information. Much like the notes page, this is a great thing that once students have completed it, they can carry it to their next level of Spanish. It's a great tool for them, and it's great to get them prepared for the next level. But I have found that my students do really well on the final. But if you've noticed looking at the pages, they are chocked full of information. This would be great to take to the next level. And it's just cuter than the notes are, and it's in one cute little packet for students to take with them. So that is idea number 5. Idea number 6 is to use stations. So what I plan on doing for my level 3s, I'm still in the process of making this up, is to do a different station for each one of the topics and concentrate the activity or the game, or it might even be a worksheet that they have to do to review for each one of the topics that they've covered this year. So stations are a great way to get that social interaction where students are teaching each other and collaborative learning, and it just keeps them more engaged rather than a worksheet, which some students wouldn't do. They would just let somebody else do it, and they just go cold turkey into the final, which is never a good idea. So I'm going to use the power of cooperative learning to do my review this year for my level 3. And as soon as I get that done, I will link it in the description so that you can see if this is something that you want to use. So those are 6 ways that you can review for finals. Let me know if you have any ideas that I haven't gone over, because I love to change up what I do every year according to my students, according to what I think will work best with them that year. And I hope that you found some ideas that will help you this year in your finals review. Hope you have an amazing end of year. Guys, we only have 1 more month to go. Have a great day. Adios.